Okay, so now we're going to talk about something a little bit different. Okay, so it's the natural exponential function. We'll get to that, but first we have to talk about. So let's say you have this expression, 1 plus 1 over n to the nth power. Okay, so you could plug in values. They do this in the textbook. I'm not going to do very many, but you could put in a number and then figure out what that is. So say you put in 2, then you're talking about what's 1 plus 1 half squared. Okay, we could figure that out. So, uh, well, maybe we could. Anyway, it's 1.5 squared, right? And that's going to be 2.25. Okay, but after that, it's going to get a little trickier. So let's say we put in 10. So we're talking about 1 plus 1 over 10 to the 10th power. Okay, so you're replacing n with these numbers here. Well, you could put that in a calculator. Let's just do that on our calculator. So I'll talk you through it, and hopefully this will help. But you're putting parenthesis, 1 plus, and then go 1 divided by 10, parenthesis, and then you're raising it to the 10th power. Okay, and I get 2.5937, and on it goes. Okay, now let's put in 100. So what happens when we put in 100? Parenthesis, 1. Oh, you know what? Let me check my last one. I might not have put in enough parentheses. 1 plus 1 divided by 10. No, I did. I closed the parenthesis. I might not have said it, but I was worried it opened a parenthesis. No, it's fine. Okay, so just double checking. So now we're going to put in 1 plus 1, oops, 1 plus 1 over 100 to the 100th power. Okay, so parenthesis, 1 plus 1 divided by 100, parenthesis, to the, so exponent, 100th power. And I get 2.7048, and on it goes. Okay, one more. 1 plus 1 over 1,000 to the 1,000th power. And you're thinking, wow, we're raising it to the 1,000th power. That's going to really do something. Okay, parenthesis, 1 plus 1 divided by 1,000, parenthesis, to the power of 1,000. There's better ways to do this, but okay. And I get, so at 1,000, I'm getting 2.7169, and on it goes. And it turns out that it approaches e to the x. This is represented as e, sorry. Let me erase that. It approaches a constant, not a constant, an irrational number, I guess a constant. E is approximately 2.72. So a lot of times they'll approximate it that way. It's kind of like pi. It's an irrational number, and we have a decimal approximation. Usually we use 3.14 for pi. There's other approximations, but it goes on and on and on. It's an irrational number. E. We write it with in italics. Okay, so it's like pi. Okay, so that's what it is, and that's where it comes from. Okay, and so it's called the natural base, and it's the symbol is e, lowercase e. Okay, so what does that mean for the natural exponent function? Well, we could have then f of x e to the x power. Now you actually probably have a button on your calculator that says e to the x. Okay, so you can find that on your calculator. If you did that, so find it on your calculator. Mine is right above the ln. Mine is ln look like this. Some calculators it might be written like in lowercase. So look for one of those buttons. Okay, they'll be related to each other. Mine is like this. My little cheap calculator is ln. That's the button. And then right above it is the e to the exponent. So what that means is if I want to evaluate e to the first power, okay, so I have to put in a variable because it's got the x on there. So I've got to put something in for x. So I'm going to hit the shift key or the second key. Mine is a second key. Sometimes the keys say shift. So it depends on your calculator. Again, if you have any calculator trouble, please contact me somehow. And then, or you can look it up online. Also, the tutors at Task can help you with that. Okay, so I hit the second key, and then I hit on my calculator the LN button, which looks like that. And that's, whoops, forgot to hit the second LN. Okay, on my calculator then, in the display box, it shows E, and then it's got a little arrow thing and a parenthesis. That's what it shows. Okay, so I put in a 1, and then I close the parenthesis, just good habits. My calculator doesn't care, but that's okay. And then you push enter. So I put the 1 in, and then I hit enter, and it should spit out 2.71828, and then on it goes. So there's more digits, but that is approximately 2.72. Okay, so that's what we're using for E. That's where it comes from, and that's how we get it. Okay. Oh, that's all for that video.